You may have assumed that since all an egg has to do is provide protection and food to an animal embryo before it could survive on its own, they would all look very similar, but you'd be mistaken. For various interesting reasons, the eggs in this video are far more bizarre than any average chicken egg. From octopus to birds, we're going to look at some of the world's weirdest eggs. Number 10. Octopus and Squid. A breed of octopus that is truly bizarre is that of the Argonaut. Not only do the males have a detachable penis that swims itself to mate with females, females also build a crib onto themselves where they keep their eggs. While most octopuses lay their eggs in caves and crevices, the open-swimming Argonaut has no such luxury. To protect her babies, she continually builds her shell with a mineral found in her arms. One species of Argonaut can build an egg case of up to 300 millimeters, whereas the smallest species only build one to about 67 millimeters. This floating egg case resembles a basket, holding the eggs when laid, making it easier for her to clean and oxygenate them. Generic octopus eggs themselves look like tiny grapes attached to vines stuck onto rocks, and up close they appear as clear deflated balloons. With squids, they have a hidden ink sac which is tucked way under their gills. This sac acts as a protective shell for the eggs. Thousands of eggs can be produced by one squid. Some species can have over 70,000, like the red flying squid that produced a massive car-sized ball of eggs just off the coast of Turkey. That's a load of eggs. Also, it's never been documented how or when squid eggs hatch naturally. It is believed that when eggs have reached a certain maturity, the mother is able to trigger their hatching in response to any potential threat. Number 9. American Robin. The American robin lays bright blue eggs. The coloring of the eggs is due to biliverdin, a pigment that is put on the eggshell when it's laid by the female. Tests have proven that males use the color of the egg to determine whether his mate will produce healthier babies. Eggs laid by a healthier female encourage the male to spend more daddy time with their babies, feeding them twice as much than unhealthier offspring. Not only does it make the males more interested, it also protects the embryo from potential damaging UV radiation. Number 8. Green Lacewing. To protect their eggs, the green lacewing hangs them off plants individually by a slender line of silk. This is to reduce the likelihood of cannibalism by sibling larvae. Eggs start off green when first laid and will become darker before it's time to hatch. What hatches from the egg may be to some people the stuff of nightmares. Once out of the egg, it immediately takes itself on a feeding frenzy. Their mothers will have specifically sought out a prime eating spot for them, laying them as close to a source of prey as possible. All the larva's senses, apart from touch, have not fully developed and will attack anything living it comes across. Once they have their prey, they will inject a digestive fluid. This can liquefy an aphid within 90 seconds. Number 7. Kiwi. New Zealand's native bird, the kiwi, has an unusual world record to its name. They lay the biggest eggs in relation to their body size of any bird on the planet. It takes about a month for a mother to produce one egg, with it taking up approximately 20% of her own body weight and can measure up to 12 centimeters in length. Compare that to the Vervian hummingbird, which lays the smallest egg by any bird, and you'll be amazed. One of their eggs measures less than 10 millimeters. In the final days before a kiwi egg is laid, it takes so much space inside the mother's body that she is unable to eat. Kiwi chicks require limited parental care. Once they have hatched, they use up all the nutrients that is stored in their yolk sac. The average bird's egg is 35 to 40% yolk, but kiwi eggs are 65% yolk, meaning that they hatch fully feathered and independent. Number 6. Yellowhead Jawfish. Many parents complain about having their hands full, but the yellow-headed jawfish may be able to top that. This dad crams his mouth full of his offspring. The yellow-headed jawfish is a mouth brooder, with the males taking responsibility of tending to the eggs. Females lay the eggs, and after fertilizing them, the males collect them in their mouths and incubate them. Incubation takes about 7 to 9 days, with the dad having from 300 to 500 eggs to look after. During this time, males do not eat, meaning they are underweight and very hungry by the time the eggs have hatched. Number 5. Knobbed whelks. Commonly found in the North Atlantic, these large predatory sea snails lay about 100 eggs in a gel-like material. These eggs are connected together by spiral capsules that create an almost paper chain-like effect and are known as mermaid necklaces. Each capsule on the spiral can contain 25 or more teeny tiny baby whelks in their teensy shells. Baby whelks start off being about 4 millimeters long and can grow up to about 305 millimeters. They can hatch anytime between 3 months and 13 months. Number 4. Sicilian. If you don't like slimy things, then the Sicilian is not for you. Sicilians are a group of serpentine amphibians that have no limbs. When it comes to laying eggs, only a quarter of the 200 species lay eggs, whereas the others give birth to live offspring. The eggs themselves are transparent, like tiny marbles. Not only do the moms guard the eggs, but she feeds her young by allowing them to harvest off the outer layer of her own skin, which has ample fats and nutrients for a baby Sicilian, fully equipping them. The skin they eat is replaced every 3 days. Eating like this can make the babies grow 10 times their original body size in less than a week. Number 3. Whopost. Whoposts are a colorful bird found across Afro-Eurasia. When it comes to their eggs, these birds paint them with a smelly brown fluid from a gland called the uropygial gland near their rear ends. Typically, the oil secreted from a bird's uropygial gland is used to preen and protect feathers. But during breeding season, a Whopost gland becomes exceptionally large, creating an oil that is full of bacteria and smells like rotting meat. They use this stinky fluid to reduce the amount of harmful germs inside the eggs, acting as a shield. The oil also changes the color of the egg from a blue-grayish color to a brown color. Number 2. Ants. These small little insects do not have it easy. After mating, the princess ant becomes a queen ant and is ready to start her own colony. Before she starts, she must first go on a hunt for a suitable nesting site. Once she has found the most ideal spot, she can lay up to 300,000 eggs. While laying, she lives off the fat already in her body and the moisture around her. She may even resort to even eating her own wings as a source of protein to keep her alive. Ants are protective mothers and will not leave their nest until the firstborn worker ants are able to search for food. Initially, eggs have 2 sets of chromosomes, and because the queen ant is particularly badass, she could choose what hatches out of the egg depending on which one she fertilizes. Unfertilized eggs grow into male drone ants, whose only job is to mate with the queen, whereas fertilized eggs become female working ants. She can also decide which female eggs will become future queens to start their own colony. Queens that live in mature ant colonies can lay thousands of eggs a day. Number 1. Horn and ghost sharks. These sharks have some seriously strange looking eggs. The horn shark's strange spiral-shaped eggs consist of something very similar to your hair or fingernail and forms as a means of protection. After laying their eggs, female sharks pick them up in their mouths and wedge them into gaps in rocks, which is made easier by its corkscrew shape, hidden away from predators and protected from the ocean's current. Once that's done, she takes off, leaving the babies to fend for themselves. Other strange eggs are released by chimeras, which are cartilaginous fish, better known as ghost sharks. They look like something found more so in an alien movie than in the sea. Originally starting as the color yellow when first laying, ghost shark eggs become black prior to hatching. These eggs have also adapted to survive in cold, dark environments, with minimal care from their parents remaining in place, in the deep, deep waters, surrounded by monstrous predators. Which egg did you think was the weirdest? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.